Hey all, hope you're doing great. I'm Vineet from Agora, and I'm really thrilled to have you guys here for this session. So, yeah, a little bit about me. I'm a developer evangelist at Agora, and I work as a part of the DevRel team. I'm also the lead for this little project called Agora App Builder. More on that, during the session. I love all things JavaScript. That's what I breathe for. That's what I live for. If you find something cool with JavaScript or you want to geek out about it, do let me know. I'll be here all day, all night, according to the time zone, and we can chat up about it. So yeah, so anything JavaScript, right? Either it's Electron, you want to build some websites, you are building mobile apps using React Native. Doesn't matter. If it runs on JavaScript, I think I'll be able to talk with you about it. So yeah, that's my Twitter handle and my GitHub, so you can connect with me offline. So let's start with a question, that thought-provoking question, right? Where is my video calling platform? And this is a question that I've been asking myself for a long time now, and I've also seen a lot of people asking this question, right? But what does it mean? Where is my video calling platform? I mean, a video calling platform would have made sense, but what is my video calling platform? So I'll explain what my video calling platform is. Let's see, there we go. So yeah, I want it feature rich. I want all of the the latest and the greatest features. I want it custom built. I want it built especially for my business, for my use case, and I don't want a generic application, right? That is my video calling platform, and I wanted it yesterday. Don't we all, right? You want a really good video calling platform with all of the good stuff, and you want it immediately, or as I put it here, yesterday. So how do we go about this? So one of the immediate thing that strikes your mind is this: can't I just use a SaaS solution? There are hundreds of players out there. It's an ocean of players in SaaS video calling space. Why can't I just pick one and use it, right? What's preventing me from doing that? So this is one of the most important things to note here, is that it can't be integrated with your existing platform. It can't be integrated with your existing business flows. It can't be integrated with your existing applications, right? RTE means real-time engagement. It doesn't make a lot of sense to have engagement if the engagement doesn't happen inside your own platform. So retention is one of the core tenets, right? So you gotta have the engagement, and you gotta have it where people are gonna log in right inside your platform, right inside your app, right inside your website, right? So usually this is what we hear, that SaaS is not a great fit really for innovative businesses, for people who are looking to make something out of the ordinary. And this is also another bummer. You have zero customization, right? Let's talk about the basic of the customization, right? White labeling, adding your logos, adding your theme colors. Even the simplest of the customizations is not possible today with all of the SaaS-based solutions. So what does it really translate to? It means that you cannot create effective brand awareness right inside your your application. Maybe you conduct virtual events. Maybe you conduct classes for your students. It doesn't matter, right? To have brand awareness means the application fits into the flow. It follows all of the theming, right? So this is one of the other biggest drawbacks of a SaaS solution. And I'm not talking about even greater customization here, and I'm keeping it short with just the colors and stuff, because you can forget about it, right? You want to add a new feature into a SaaS? I mean, good luck, buddy. You can't, basically. So that's on one hand. What do we have on the other hand of the spectrum, right? What's on the other side? That's building your own video calling app from scratch. So this is an arduous process, and let's see what exactly are the challenges, right, that you'd face if you are going to try and build a video calling app from scratch. So it requires domain knowledge. RTE is no joke, and it requires a considerable amount of domain knowledge to put together a real-time engagement application, right? Like video calling, live streaming, it doesn't matter. You need some amount of domain knowledge in the video calling industry to put it together yourself. And not to mention, you also need a team of developers who are there to build your app, scale your app, and like maintain your app for the for the foreseeable future, right? So that's always that. That's an obvious cost. And on top of it, as being involved in this industry for as long as I have been, the one unique thing to note here is RTE applications have a tend to have complex architectures and life cycles in general when you compare it to any other normal website. The reason is you have so many edge cases to deal with, right? Just think about it. What happens if a person gets disconnected because of bad network, for example, right? So you have to handle that case. What happens when the bad network recovers? So how do you gracefully handle this? Sometimes maybe you want to lower the video quality, maybe you want to increase the video quality. It provides a swath of complexities that you don't want to face, right? Like you want to build your business around the RTE, not build the RTE itself. So one of the key things this results to is that it's going to take a really long time to market. Even with the leading vendors, this is going to be a blocker for many businesses. So that brings us to the golden question, right? Is there a better solution for this problem? So on one hand, you have this monolith to deal with, the SaaS solution. And on the other hand, you have the most simplest building blocks out there for your real-time engagement experience. Do we have something in the middle? Do we have a better solution? And we've been asking this question for a really long time. And I'm so excited, happy, and thrilled to say that we pioneered the solution for this question. And that is the Agora App Builder, right? Let me keep it short and show rather than tell. Agora App Builder is a no-code visual designer, and it is completely feature-rich. Like it has a lot of it has the top-notch features that you'd expect from a video calling solution out of the box, and it deploys with one click. You just have to click once, and there you go. You can also download the source code and customize. It's all yours. We just make it and give it for you. But if you want to take it from there, add a new feature, extend some capability, or maybe even deploy it as your main app, and you can build your business around it, right? The possibilities are literally unlimited and endless. And the greatest thing is you get to go live in minutes, not in hours, not in days, not in months, in minutes. And we also provide maximum customization that's possible. So you may ask me, wait, this sounds too good to be true. How is this possible, right? So yeah, keep that thought in your mind. I'm going to cut my screenshot from the PPT, and I'm going to show you a live demo. So yeah, let's see how it's actually possible, right? So what we have with us here is the Agora App Builder website. Let me do one thing and drop the website URL in the comments below, so you can actually follow along. It's that simple. We are not going to write any lines of code in this session, right? We are just going to click some buttons and have fun. So you can go to this website and follow along if you want to. So I'll be showing you a live tutorial on how to build an app with the App Builder. So let's start. So as soon as you press right now, you'll be sent to a screen to authenticate yourself with an Agora account. If you don't have an Agora account, you won't be you'll have to create that first before you log in with the App Builder. I've already logged myself in, so it takes me directly to the console, right? So this is the console, and we can create and manage our RTE projects here, right? Every single project that you create using App Builder, that can be found inside this console. So let's do something cool. Let's create a new project. I'm going to call my project RTE 2021. Say next. And there we go. So you have actually successfully created your first project, and that's all it takes. A couple of button clicks, right? So let's break down and see. Let's break down what we're seeing here. So on the right hand side, the big screen, you're seeing the live preview on how your app is going to look like when it actually enters production. And on the left hand side, you have a bunch of customization options ready for you. So to make this real quick, let me show you what we have inside product in the product information tab. This product ID is the only required field to build your app, right? Which means once I type in a product ID, you can deploy right off the bat. So what is the product ID, right? Product ID is a simple, identifier. That's all. Like I can just give RTE, right? Like RTE application or RTE app if you're too lazy. So RTE app is my product ID, and I'm already ready to, deploy it. So if you want to know what the product ID is, like, this is an identifier used by the app internally, but it doesn't like signify anything other than that. So it can be any random string as long as it follows the rules for the form validation like mentioned here. As long as it follows that, you're good to go. Let's deploy the backend, and while the backend is getting deployed, which takes a couple of minutes, I'll show you around the rest of the console, and I'll walk you over the the latest and greatest features. So I'm starting the deploy. There we go. So if you have a Heroku account, it's going to deploy there automatically, right? Like it will ask you to log in using OAuth, and it will deploy there. But since I've already logged myself in, it was just one click, and it didn't provide any further like menus or screens. So now that our backend is like deploying, let's explore more and see what this is all about. So what about product description, right? So this is basically what's written here inside your application. Let's try changing it. So this real preview, this live preview automatically updates whenever you change something, and it automatically like saves it. Yeah, it saves it like once you press the save button. So let's leave it. Let's leave that for now, and let's also see the other features that we have, right? Like so, if you save that, like this is gonna get saved. I'm not saving it right now just because our app is like deploying at the moment, and I don't want to disrupt that. But yeah, you can like really play with these like as you see fit, and then deploy. We can also change the themes and play with them. So for example, this is a pre-built. These are like pre-built themes. We have green theme, blue theme, so many themes, right? So what if like you have your own theme? So we also provide like these colors. So whenever you select any of these preset, it's just gonna give you a like a default value for all of these fields. So our pre-built themes really can be customized infinitely, right? That's the idea behind like the themes. So you can like choose whatever color you want, like choose whatever theme you want like in your app, and then like you're good to go. So yeah, also you can like remove the background image and like update it with whatever you see fit. So I'm gonna just stick with the original blue color theme right now. So you're free to explore and customize it however you want it, or however your company's brand guidelines are, right? So then we have the primary logo. So that's basically the logo that you see over here. So once you press remove image, that's gonna remove the logo, and you can like update it with whatever logo you want, right? So you select a file and then like you can update it. That's about it. And let's see, authentication, right? So this was one of the requested features in our application. How do you add an authentication layer, right? Like in an application which is which is supposed to have like private video calling and communication, it is essential that it has like security built in. So we have it like very flexibly like built in. Like we made our own cross-platform OAuth solution, and we also provide out-of-the-box vendors for ease of use. Basically, let's say you want to add Google OAuth to your app, right? Just flick this button up and provide the client ID and client secret like from your Google console, and there you go. Now you have like Google OAuth added to your app. Let's say you want Apple OAuth because like you like Macs, for example. So you can add Apple OAuth just by passing in like these Apple credentials, like by going to the Apple developer portal. So once you added authentication, now comes the actually interesting part, right? The video calling screen. So this screen is available for live preview across all of the theme changes, all of the like other changes. So whenever you make a change anywhere, like you can come to the video conferencing screen and see how it's going to get updated, right? So that's also possible. Let's talk about the features. So we have a few features enabled out of the box. you can enable more features if you want, and you can also disable the features if it doesn't make sense in your app. So for example, if you don't want screen sharing in your app, or if you already have a chat platform, whatever, right? Like you can just disable them and use just what you want and not what we give, right? That's the key. That's one of the core values behind App Builder. Is that we won't impose anything on the end user, on the end business, right? It's all up to you, and you get to customize it. It's a completely flexible platform. So let's say we want the recording to go, we want the video call also to have a recording feature, right? It's as simple as this. You turn on the recording feature, you provide the AWS details, and boom, like Agora automatically sends all of your recordings right inside your bucket where you'd expect it. So that's a quick walkthrough of some of the features. Like you also have you want to turn on like packet to packet encryption, like video encryption, you can turn that on. Let's say you want to have custom error logging, right? So we also provide Sentry integration out of the box. You can just put your DSN inside, and all of the errors and all of the logs, like they go and get stored inside your Sentry account. So that's very cool. Let's see if our backend has completed deployment. Oh, it has. So every time a deployment gets done, you'll get this green color tick. It says completed. So that means it all is well, and we can continue the step 2. So once we've deployed the backend, the next immediate thing that we'll do is like deploying the front end, right? And the front end requires the backend URL in order to send API requests and manage all of these things internally. So that's why this process can't be parallelized, and it has to go step by step. So let's try and deploy front end. So that's the same case with the backend. Even on the front end, a quick pop-up will open up if you are using the app for the first time with Vercel. And if you don't have a Vercel account already, you'll have to sign up to Vercel and then log in with your Vercel account. So this is going to take another 5 minutes of your 5 minutes of a time. So while this is going on, I'll also demo a couple of more things, right? Let's see. So this is an interesting button. So this is what I've been talking about, throughout this session, is that you own your app, right? You're not using someone's app. We are giving an app out to you for free. So what that means is that you press the download source code button, and boom, RT2021.zip. You have the entire source code with you. And what you do from there, it's up to you. You don't have to think about Agora. That's your source code, and you can do whatever you want with it. That's cool. So the front end is going to take a while to complete its deployment. So I'm going to switch gears here a little bit, and I'm going to talk about some of the other features of the App Builder that I haven't discussed yet. So we're already off to a good start, and I hope you guys think App Builder is cool. But let me surprise you, App Builder is way cooler than you think. So give me a second when I switch my screens and I share my presentation with you. Once I share that, the last couple of slides, we'll come back here and we'll see how the deployed app looks like. So I'm going to leave this and switch over to my presentation. So this is a session. This is a section I call, but wait, did I mention, right? App Builder works everywhere. So right now, if you have seen the workflow, you might mistakenly assume that App Builder is a web-specific application, right? But in reality, App Builder was entirely written in React Native, and we support all platforms: web, iOS, Android, even the desktop ones, right? Mac OS, Windows, Linux. This thing works everywhere, and we are so proud and so cool. We are extremely happy about the fact that this thing works so well across the entire developer spectrum, right? No matter what device you use, no matter what platform you're interested in, and this thing works wherever your developers are. That's one thing. And second thing is that this thing integrates with your apps. So what that means, right, is basically App Builder is not just a turnkey solution. Rather, it can be embedded inside your own application. Let's say you have your own website you have your own business platform, a website. You can simply embed App Builder in as an iframe. For example, let's say you don't want to use an iframe. You want to do something more fancier, more complex. Sure, you have the entire source code with you. You can embed the entire thing as a React component inside your own React framework. But what if I'm using Angular? What if I'm using like vanilla JavaScript? What if I'm not using React, right? You can still wrap the entire thing and put it inside a custom web element and then render that web element inside your own JavaScript application. The possibilities are limitless, and we provide you with all the tools that you need to achieve your business goals clearly, effectively, and easily. So there's also another cool thing. You can embed the app builder inside your iOS and Android apps, right? Obviously, it makes sense that you can embed it inside your React Native apps, but can you also embed this inside a pre-existing, pure Android app, for example, right? So this is possible. All React Native apps can be embedded inside a non-React Native code base. So React Native has amazing guides on that. Maybe at the end of the session, I'll link those in comments. So you can actually take the app builder and use this even if you are not using React Native for your own mobile platform, right? Like Android or iOS. So we also build for desktop using Electron. So yeah, if you have pre-existing Electron apps, App Builder can be integrated there seamlessly. Finally, last but not least, you can deploy the App Builder on the provider of your choice, on the infrastructure of your choice, right? We give you the source code and you can do whatever you want with it. So what does that translate to, right? It means you can deploy the backend on AWS. It means you can deploy the frontend on Netlify. You can deploy these things maybe on your laptop, right? It does not matter because we don't have, we don't have a tight grip over your choice of infrastructure. That's your choice to make, not ours. So we provide containerized environments for backend. We provide a Docker image, so you can quickly use that to get it up anywhere. And the entire frontend builds using our wonderful CLI. So within a couple of CLI commands, it can be built anywhere, right? In your desktop using an interactive interface, or it can also be built in a CI environment. Doesn't matter. All of it is holistically platform independent or provider independent. So you can go to appbuilder.agora.io/docs. I'll post this link also in the comments. If you want to look more about how to deploy your app in a given platform, how to do Android stuff, how to do iOS specific stuff, how do I get my macOS app, right? So all of these questions have wonderful answers inside our documentation portal. It's cool. So I'm going to jump back to the deployment that we left off, the front end, and let's see if it's done. And once that is done, let's open it up for Q&A. So we have completed the deployment of the front end as well, right? So let's see how our published app looks like. Let's go to the published app. There we go. So this is the sample app, not in the sample app, right? This is our application that we created within the span of 30 minutes, along with the presentation going on, right? That's the real power of App Builder. You can literally go live in minutes. This is a production grade application deployed on production grade platforms through and through. So let's try and create our own meeting, right? Let me say new RTE meeting. Create my own meeting, right? So I get the attendee URL and I also get a host URL. So let me copy the attendee URL and let me join from this tab as a host. So I'm sharing only this tab, so you'll be able to see my video here. But what I'm also going to do is quickly open another tab and join as a attendee from the next tab. Let me do that. There we go. You can do a lot of things out of the box, screen sharing, just the host controls and stuff like that. So let's take a look at that, right? So these controls are available only to the hosts of the like hosts of the event or hosts of the meeting, right? So you can mute all audios in a room, you can mute all videos in a room, but the attendees won't be able to do that, right? So we already provide like these features out of the box. You also get like two wonderful layouts. So right now we are in a grid layout. This scales up to end users. So as users join in, like this will automatically scale well based on a mathematical formula that we have inside. And then we also have another layout that people usually prefer during presentations or screen sharing, right? Like one user is on the big screen and we have a bunch of users on the small screen. And the entire app is just from one code base, right? So what this means is this thing is responsive and it works both on mobile web as well as on mobile native apps, right? Like it will also work on Android, iOS, all from the same code base. And let's say you modify a feature somewhere or you add a new feature somewhere, it's going to again like work on all of these platforms without any extra effort, because we've spent a lot of time in setting up all of the compiler tools and the infrastructure so that it will build everywhere. So we've done that like for you. Finally, this is the participant screen. You can like kick people out. You can like do things like mute your video, unmute your video. So this is from an attendee screen. So I'll be able to like kick myself out, or like what this means is like I'll be able to leave a call, but I won't be able to kick someone out. Okay. Yeah. So basically, what this means is that like I'll be able to kick out the attendees, and like I'll be able to mute them, right? Like that's what we do here. And then we also have an option to copy the meeting invite in two places. One is on the top of the one's on the top of the screen, and we also have copy meeting invite button on the bottom of the screen. So both of these things copy the invite. And when you're a host and you click this button, it copies the host URL as well as the attendee URL. But if you're only if you're like an attendee, it can copy only an attendee URL, because like access control. So that's a pretty much a quick overview of like our platform. And of course, it goes unsaid. We have chat features, right? Group chat, private chat. But yeah, that pretty much concludes what App Builder is and what the different capabilities of our platform is. So if you guys have any questions, like please let me know. Can it be used in Flutter? So that's a nice question, right? So one thing that I will say right off the bat is that this can be embedded inside a Flutter app, right? Like Flutter app lets you embed like platform views. So this thing can wrap itself as a platform view, and then you can embed that inside your Flutter app. But the core application itself is written in React Native. So your app will have one React Native screen. The rest of the things will be Flutter screens. Is the app builder a URL, or can I use it natively on my mobile apps? Right. Like I said during the presentation. So this question is from Catherine. We can actually embed this inside any mobile app and use it, right? Or you can also generate just a React Native application out of it without any further customization. Use it easily. Can it? So we have another question from Carmelo. If I'm not pronouncing your name wrong. Can it be used to generate a kind of a template for building web native JavaScript? Example Node.js work. Example Node.js app to work then on our side. Let's see. I don't think I quite follow. Like, do you mean like you want to build a Node.js backend to this app? Because that's possible. We already have customers who can integrate. Who are already integrating like the platform, like inside their own Node.js app. So the way it will work is that our services are developed in Golang, so it can be deployed as a separate microservice, and we have clear-cut GraphQL interfaces, right? So you can like send a request to and fro from your Node.js app to our Golang backend, and then like create a room, do all of it like programmatically, and then use our front end to like interact with our code. So yes, it will in that sense it will work with any technology stack, not just Node.js as a backend. I hope that answers your question. Yep, that's right. You can use the code base to extend it yourself, 100%. Awesome. Okay. So I think that wraps it up. If you guys do have any questions, let me quickly put the Slack link in the chat below. So you can reach out to us over Slack. I'll be happy to hang out with you and like explain how this thing works, what are the possibilities, right? And let me also give you guys the documentation link if you're interested to explore more on how this thing works. Like let's say you want to deploy a native app, so you can find the link there. So that's a wrap from my side. Thank you all for being here. It means a lot to me. Bye bye.